The sound that woke me up wasn't a knock. It was the door handle rattling like somebody out there had already lost patience with asking permission. Let me tell you, there's a certain kind of chill that comes with realizing your morning's about to get weird, and that chill shot right up my spine as I rolled out of bed, bare feet on the old wooden floor. My heart was hammering not from fear, but that special kind of anger that mixes with confusion before you even know why. Through the peephole, I spotted her, a woman in a sharp blazer holding a clipboard like it was some kind of law enforcement badge. The plastic name tag screamed Madison Crow, Compliance Director, Maple Ridge Homeowners Association. I cracked open the door barely and she didn't even bother with a hello. She goes, "I need a copy of your house key, right now." Just like that. Like I was supposed to have one waiting for her, maybe with a nice little bow. You ever hear something so bizarre you have to say it back just to make sure you're not losing it? "A key to my house," I asked, not quite trusting my own ears. She didn't blink. "It's mandatory. Section 15.2. If you refuse, it's a $500 a day fine. Escalates quick. Liens. You don't want that." I've dealt with nosy landlords, cranky neighbors, and even city inspectors, but nobody's ever tried to walk onto my porch and demand the keys to my front door like they were checking out a library book. I felt my face burn, part rage, part disbelief, but Madison just stood there calm as you please, like she'd rehearsed this speech in the mirror all morning. "Email me the request and I'll review it," I told her, reaching for the oldest line in the defense playbook paperwork. Her smile tightened so fast it almost snapped. "We don't do this over email. You're required to provide a copy today. If you can't, we'll schedule an inspection and you will not be present." Let me tell you those 4 words. You will not be present. Landed strange. Not "you can be there." Not "let's coordinate." Just a flat declaration like she already owned my living room air. I pressed back. "Give me the association's office number. I'll confirm." Her eyes darted around my porch, real slick like she thought there were cameras. "There's no need to clog the office. I'm authorized. Do you want the fines to start today?" She didn't shout. It was the sort of threat that gets buried under paperwork and official stamps, the kind that preys on your desire for peace and quiet more than anything else. She was counting on me being too new, too polite, too tired to fight. And I'll admit, for a second, I almost gave her what she wanted. But instead, I closed the door gently, not giving her the satisfaction of a slam. My hands shook anyway. I stood in the entryway, breathing through my nose, listening to the silence outside, and realizing just how unsafe I suddenly felt in my own home. That pissed me off even more. I dug up the HOA number from the official welcome packet, not the one Madison rattled off. Some woman answered, sounded tired but professional, and when I explained what was going on, she went so quiet I thought the line died. Finally, she said, "We do not collect keys, we don't store keys, we don't request keys, we definitely don't schedule federal inspections." "So she's lying," I blurted, just needing to hear it out loud. She paused again. "I can't speak to who is on your porch, but that's not our procedure. If someone's pretending to be HOA and demanding access, you should call law enforcement." I thanked her and hung up. Now, it wasn't just an annoyance. It was someone trying to muscle into my life with a costume and a script. I cracked the blinds and saw Madison still out there typing on her phone like she was writing my punishment in real time. She looked up, noticed me watching, and barked out, "Thursday 2:40. Be gone. If you're here, you'll be in violation." I almost laughed at the absurdity. She was scheduling my absence like I was getting a dental cleaning. So I stepped outside, door locked behind me, and said, "The HOA office says you're not authorized to request keys." Her smile didn't falter. It sharpened. "The office doesn't know what I'm assigned to. This is compliance. Different department. Bigger picture." She lowered her voice, real conspiratorial. "Ethan, don't make this difficult. Everyone else cooperates." There it was. The pressure, the veiled shame, the whole be a good neighbor guilt trip. And for a heartbeat, my shoulders slumped. I saw it all coming, the endless letters, the fines, the board meetings where they clap as someone gets publicly punished. How easy it would be to just hand over a key, tell myself it wasn't worth the trouble. But I pictured her or someone else walking through my house, my laptop, my private things, my life. That snapped me back, ice cold. "No," I said. "You don't get a key. You don't get a code. You don't get access. If there's a real inspection, you schedule it in writing and I'll be present." She went flat-eyed. "Then you're choosing consequences." She walked away like she'd already won. I watched her go, hoping that would be the end. But that night, every creak in the house sounded like a warning. I checked my locks twice, 3 times, hating that she'd gotten under my skin. Sat on the edge of the couch at 1 a.m., staring at the door, wondering if maybe I was overreacting. Maybe this is just how these places work. Maybe the easy thing is to just comply and move on. Then my phone buzzed. Text from Mrs. Donna Caldwell. 2 houses down, she's the type who bakes cookies but always has a warning tucked behind the sugar. Saw that woman at your porch earlier? That's not HOA. She tried the same stunt on the Millers last month. I called her immediately. What happened? She got a key from them, said it was for inspection. 2 days later, packages disappeared from their foyer. Police called it a common scam. Authority cosplay. My stomach dropped. Whatever doubts I had vanished. Next morning, I called the non-emergency line, explained the whole mess. The officer sounded bored until I mentioned keys. Do not give anyone access, he said. If they come back, call us immediately if you can get them on video. So I tightened everything, checked camera angles, added one facing the porch, another on the driveway, set up motion alerts, kept my curtains cracked just enough to see anyone stepping onto my property. Then Thursday rolled around 2:03 p.m., motion alert on my phone. Madison back again, walking up my drive like she owned the place. Clipboard, same stiff smile, but this time she dangled a key ring. My chest seized up. Was that my key, or did she want me to think it was? I stayed quiet watching the camera feed, heard her on the porch mic inspection, Homeowners Association. Then this part still sends a chill. She leaned in and whispered, "You should have cooperated." She tried my handle locked, tried again harder. Then she bent to the lockbox on my railing, a box I'd never installed. That's when it hit me. She planted it hoping nobody would notice, then planned to act like it had always been there. She popped the box open, used a code, pulled out a key, and slid it into my front door. The lock clicked. My blood went cold, not because she got in, but because she had a key that worked. She pushed open the door and stepped into my entryway. But the second she crossed the threshold, my phone buzzed again, smart lock status update. The system logged everything. I didn't panic, I didn't shout. Just hit the button that engaged the interior deadbolt, the second door, the one between the mudroom and the rest of the house. Madison was now locked inside a little box of her own. She rattled the interior handle once, twice, then started breathing faster. "Hello?" she called, all innocent. Then her voice hardened. "This is an inspection. Open this door." I answered through the mic, steady as a judge. "Madison, what are you doing inside my home?" Silence, then a nervous laugh. "I'm conducting an inspection. In my entryway with a key you aren't authorized to have." Her tone snapped, full of threats. "You're obstructing. You will be fined." "Police are on the way," I replied. That's when her face changed, confidence draining out of her eyes, darting for an escape route. She tried the front door locked, looked down at the key like it had betrayed her. Then came the classic scammer move. She started babbling procedure policy, federal compliance, like words could save her. That's when the sirens started. Distant at first, then close, then right outside. Madison froze just for a second. She straightened her blazer, tried to look official, even trapped in my entryway. I opened the front door from my side, met the officers at the bottom of my steps. Didn't give a speech, just held up my phone and said she entered using a key she isn't supposed to have. It's all on video. The officer looked past me at Madison, still clutching her clipboard. "Ma'am, step outside." She tried to protest, "I'm with the HOA," but I cut her off. The office confirmed they don't collect keys. I didn't install that lockbox. The officer didn't react, but his patience wore thin. "Ma'am, now." Madison stepped out, still trying to look like she ran the show. She got 2 sentences into her nonsense before he turned her wrists and cuffed her. The sound was quiet, not dramatic, but it felt like a thunderclap to me. As they led her away, her clipboard slipped and landed face down on my porch like a mask, finally dropping. I didn't follow, didn't gloat, didn't feel victorious. I just closed the door, stared at my lock, and let the silence settle back in. And here's the thing, it isn't a grand lesson, not the kind you put on a bumper sticker. It's simple. Never hand your safety to someone just because they showed up wearing a name tag and acting like they belong. Some people will wear any mask, wield any bit of fake power just to see how far they can push. And it only stops when you stand up, even if your voice shakes. So what would you have done? At what point does compliance become surrender? Would you have given her a key and called it a day, or risked being labeled that neighbor to protect what's yours? Let me know down below. Tell me if you think I did the right thing or if there's a better way. And if you've ever had your own run-in with someone playing authority, share it. Sometimes justice needs a little nudge from the folks who've been there.